All right, let's try this one more time. um, so here's the lowdown of what happened. First, you got to know something about the 13th degree in Bitcoin. 13th degree is where the Bitcoin sun is at Capricorn. All right, and that's where the Saturn retrograde is happening. In fact, it's not even just happening on the 13th degree. It's happening at the 13th degree in 30 seconds of a degree. The same exact as Bitcoin's sun. You know, so let's look at Saturn. So Saturn's making this little angle right here. All right, little semi-sextile. Now, when I go and I chart this on the graph, this is what it looks like. All right, it starts here, it kind of hits exact here, but it kind of I drew it flat right here because it's not going to go through it all the way through it. It's going to turn back around. It's going to do it again. Um, in fact, it looks like it's plummeting right now as I make this video. Yeah, and it's going to make that angle again on, I think, the 25th. Yeah. And so it's just like, it's not good. It's like there's all kinds of 13-degree badness going on. Because in the progression chart, the Venus is the progressive Venus is at 13 degrees. So you have the natal. So right now we basically have Saturn stuck right in the middle between the Bitcoin Sun and the Bitcoin progressed Venus. Like, who cares that Jupiter conjunct the natal Venus? Who cares? There's this terrible like 13-degree madness going on. And then also on the 19th, later in the day, the actual planet Venus was at 13 degrees Gemini, which was square to the natal the progressed Venus in Pisces. So it's like not good. That's like not good. So at least I can say that makes a lot of sense. You know, everything else that I was drawing was just like adding to it. You know, this is the Jupiter transit. Jupiter conjunct Venus. You would think that would be super positive. This is Chiron transiting the nodes, sextile and trine. But I don't know how much those are gonna like help it out, like the back ends of those, because I don't know how much they negatively added to that situation. They're almost like positive angles. You would, you know, so it's like how much did they make that worse? Like they're like I drew them as these heavy dips, but it's because they were part of the Saturn dip that I see as the main culprit. You know, unless they add you know a lot to the situation to make it bad. I don't know. But as you can see, it's you know it might there might be an undoing of this maybe to go back up here. But you know, I mean the coin has gotten really high. It would be a day of reckoning would be almost like overdue right now. But I would also like to say that the Saturn retrograde like comes back around in October. You know, like it you know it reverses back in the new direction. But what's going to be different this time around than at the beginning of the year? Because
It's been going direct ever since I think like November, December, when it when it made the grand conjunction with Jupiter on the Bitcoin Jupiter in its natal chart. And we had all this crazy money being pumped into it. It's very interesting. It's just falling. It's falling, aren't you? I like how it fell right on this little sun transit that I drew the other night. I've been trying to make a video like for days, ever since it fell, because you know I was like, oh, I said something like this was gonna happen. It's just kind of early. What's happened? Why is it early? And I'm like, this. Oh yeah. And it was like I knew that about the Saturn retrograde, that it was going to be important because of that degree. So we're just gonna have to see. We're gonna have to really see what happens. You know, it's almost like you don't want it to go up until the retrograde. Because then the retrograde means it's gonna go down or something. You want it to like be like, oh, stay down, and then when the retrograde happens, it goes back up. Keep your fingers crossed. I don't know. Unless you're trying to buy in, and this is where you get in again, I guess. I don't know. We'll see.